Now, I'm not a Cowboys fan in any form or fashion, but when a man's down like this and somebody's putting fake allegations on their name, wow, oh, that's just something that only rarely happens. It happens every single day, and I don't care who they are. I don't care what they stand for. When an injustice like this happens to one man, that means it can happen to any man. So shout out Michael Irvin. Like I said, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I do kind of like Michael Irvin. He's a bit of a spaz, and he's always been great on whatever panel he's been on. So the fact that he ended up catching a case for no good reason because he's got deep pockets and some bitches trying to run him, we got to cover this stuff. Michael Irvin's attorney shares hotel security footage to refute Marriott's claims. He asked female staffer if she's, here it is, had a big black man inside her. Yo, is David Hasselhoff in the building? Yo, is she like the BBC? Is she a night rider? What are we doing here? I can make so many other jokes, but we are very early in the video, so we'll keep it on the DL for the time being. Silent tape shows a brief exchange, but conversation remains unclear. Well, body language is going to tell you a lot, and how is that at all? That singular statement right there, worthy of a $100 million defamation lawsuit against Marriott. Are you having a laugh? As part of the ongoing $100 million defamation lawsuit against Marriott and an unidentified female employee, Michael Irvin and his attorneys shared security footage from a February 5th exchange with the woman, which they say disproves the sexual harassment allegations against the Dallas Cowboy legend. When the conversation ends, the complaining employee looks very happy. Wow, imagine that. It's almost like another individual. Oh my God, he trafficked me to Romania and they held me down and did unspeakable things. Okay, cool. Was that on and around the time you were going to the curb, picking up your pizza and then coming back into the house? Or was that before or after the numerous shopping trips? Oh, okay. You just got to pinpoint it down for me for a second. Now, Irvin was accused by Marriott of drunkenly asking a woman if you like BBC, length or girth. Think about this. For example, but denied that accusation at Tuesday's press conference. Even if he did say that, who fucking cares? He's crudely flirting. Bro, this is what happens when you get bitch-made dudes, or bitches in general. Let's just call it what it is. Not understanding the fucking game. Yo, man, Trump coined it as locker room talk back when he was out there saying, you know, when you're a certain level of, excuse me, when you're a certain level of famous, they'll do whatever they want. They'll do whatever they can in order to get into your sphere. They'll let you do anything to them. You can even grab them by the pussy. And it's like, yeah, it's true. Heard that at the time, and then everybody else was just out there, oh my God, he's just a terrible man, he's a sexual abuser. No, he was telling fucking facts. Sorry you've never experienced that before. Sorry you've never had genuine burning desire in your life. You should try it once, you unattractive fucks. I don't speak like that, Irvin said at the recorded exchange, and then took place at that Renaissance Phoenix Hotel and Spa. Bruh, you played for the Cowboys in the 90s. Of course you talk like that. Fuck, you were on a team with Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Deion goddamn Sanders. You've said something worse than that, okay? Like, come on now. You've asked a couple of girls if they're night riders. Like, just fucking stop it. The 3-minute, 38-second video has no sound, which, so the specifics of the exchange remain unclear. Irvin and the unidentified woman speak for nearly 2 minutes in the footage, which was narrated to the media by McCathern. I guess that would have been, I think that's the lawyer. But yeah, there you can see. Okay, so that's Michael. We might as well play some of it at least. Okay, especially if it has no sound. But yeah, there's Michael pulling a lady off to the side. Doesn't really look like it's tough to tell. Okay, maybe he's I don't know, just flirting kind of crudely. Like there's not a lot to glean from there. But yeah, he's just gesturing. There's nothing, like anything like this. So it's really tough to. But yeah, I don't. He's got a little bit of riz, and she looks engaged. She's not, feet are pointed at him. He's holding his ground, okay? And he's also a pretty famous person. I understand that this is in Arizona, so the Cowboys, Got a little bit of crossover there. So yeah, and okay, she's just making polite conversation. Nothing looks untoward in this exchange right here. Like, I don't see anything terribly wrong. Like, okay, yeah, she's backing up a little bit. And oh, yes, oh, haha. Hopefully you enjoy your stay, and that'll be so wonderful. Oh, you're so funny. And oh, tell me more about being on the CBS before the kickoff panel. Oh, that's very, very interesting. Or did he work for Fox? I don't fucking know. But if you're going to be engaging in such lecherous behavior, okay, yeah, that's the first, outside of just maybe a couple of crude attempts, but yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, okay, does it look like, okay, this is a failed pickup attempt? Yeah, kind of, but outside of that, I don't know, man. Like, I don't really see anything. Oh, and then it ends amicably with just a handshake, I would imagine. How about that? And then what? Somebody else is coming over. Two other people in close proximity. One guy's walking away. She's like, okay, I gotta go. And then yes, at the end of it, and he's just like, okay, great, wonderful, fantastic. And those guys are probably like, holy shit, that's Michael Irvin. I don't know. It's tough to say. Okay, she walked away, but who did she go and where did she go after that? Okay, so I want to see this. Okay, so she leaves. She goes up. There's another guy who walks down. Okay, what are you talking about? And maybe it looks like, okay, I want to talk with you for a second. Like, okay. That's tough, man. That's real tough. It's kind of just looks like a cordial greeting between a company employee and a charismatic talker. That's what I glean from that. But obviously, we don't know the actual verbiage that was going on at the time. So this is just going to ultimately devolve into a he said, she said situation. But I guess we'll hear one side of the story because we already know the other. It's like, you like BBC? And she's like, nah. And he's like, okay. The brief video shows the female employee being engaged by Irvin when she passes through the bar area of the lobby to shake hands and move a few steps away from the bar before Irvin touches her arm with his right hand. But that was after like a minute and a half of conversation. Like, he didn't go anywhere near her. Like, he was just kind of rocking back and forth. Probably had a couple back and like, this is so funny. And then reaches over and, we could play the Call of Duty hit marker noise. Like, that's all that you would get off of that. And then they ended with a handshake and they both went their separate ways. Okay, great, fantastic. They appeared to share a laugh before shaking hands. Yeah, it's one of those, oh, this is your first time here? Come here often? Excuse me, sir, I work here. Ha ha ha. Oh, that's so funny. You're a hoot. Yes, when she's approached by another hotel employee, bringing her conversation with Irvin to an end. There's no G on the end of that, but he is. As was alleged in the filing by Marriott on Friday, Irvin is seen slapping himself 3 times after the exchange with the woman. Marriott claimed in a protective motion filed Friday in a federal court that Irvin said, "Keep it together, Mike," after slapping himself, as one employee claims they observed the Hall of Famer slurring his words and acting as though he had been under the influence of alcohol. That's kind of what I gleamed by that, and the fact that he was standing sturdy, but he was doing a couple of these every once in a while, and she was just kind of portraying the body language of, oh yes, another drunk patron that's here. How wonderful and fantastic. Oh, that's great. And then just looking around at other people, make sure that this motherfucker gets back to his hotel room, because we're kind of responsible for him here. After slapping himself, Irvin is seen taking a selfie with another hotel employee at the 2 minutes 48 mark. Yeah, wonderful, fantastic. Speaking to reporters on Tuesday, McCathern called the accusation ridiculous and overreaction the result of cancel culture. Kind of seems like it. The woman is not offended, said McCathern. Sorry, what? Who suggests that the real issue stemmed from another hotel employee who appeared to be upset about her exchange with Irvin. Okay, this is not sexual assault. This is not sexual harassment. This isn't sexual misconduct. Yeah, it's just a drunk patron outside of a bar just chatting up somebody who's like, I got other things to do. Yo, you see this every goddamn day. If you've ever worked customer service, you've had these awkward interactions that just won't fucking end. You're just looking around, it's like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Oh, you thought you always used to wear a medium, but now you got to wear a large. Oh, you think that? Oh yeah, there's definitely scamming by making the clothes smaller. Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, you used to buy a 32-inch leg. Oh, now you got to get a 33. Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, you definitely. It's like, just fucking stop. And yeah, especially if it's somebody who's clouded up like Michael Hall of Fame Irvin, he gets certain special privileges because, well, he's fairly fucking accomplished. So To say that this is any sort of misconduct, or attack, offense, anything like that, ludicrous. That's what I'd consider it. Irvin has voluntarily dismissed his $100 million defamation lawsuit against Marriott and the Jane Doe who accused him of sexual harassment in order to refile in Arizona, where the suit has more jurisdictional relevance. Okay, where did he originally file it? In Texas? Oh, okay, originally filed in Texas. There's anti-SLAPP. Not entirely sure about that in Arizona. That might be different. That might actually be a benefit for him. Refiled lawsuit now names several defendants, including Marriott International, Renaissance Hotel Operating Company, hotel employees, Ayaldin Wersry, Leanne Vinci Guerrera, and Tracy Schultz. I think we probably know which one the Karen is. Okay. As well as Irvin's accuser, listed as Jane Doe. The 57-year-old was in Arizona, to cover the Super Bowl, but was released from his broadcasting duties and removed from the hotel after a female employee at the Renaissance Phoenix Hotel and Spa accused him of harassing her. How adorable. I didn't realize that this was happening over Super Bowl weekend, but for those of you who aren't in the know, and I'll just clarify for those of you who might have forgot, it's one of the biggest prostitution weekends of the year because it's one of the biggest congregations of athletes and former athletes that you're ever going to find in one singular place. So chances are, Michael, still in shape, 50-something years old, on television, Hall of Famer, member of the Dallas Cowboys during their 90s dynasty. If he's looking for some box, he's not going to bother himself with a concierge at a fucking hotel. Like, just stop it. On Friday, 28-page motion obtained by Daily Mail, the hotel chain shared its account of what transpired between Irvin and the female Marriott employee on February 5th at Renaissance Phoenix downtown. Marriott claimed a visibly intoxicated Irvin, okay, we've got that, and I would concur, made unwanted sexual advances to the employee, stating she was attractive and asking her if she watched football. You watch football? I'm here to cover the Super Bowl. You watch TV? You watch TV? Before making a lewd comment to the woman. Again, okay, even if all of that stuff was true, let's just take it all at face value. Let's just realpolitik this for a moment. Why is that worth $100 million? A pickup gone wrong. Wow. Is that where we're at? Are we disincentivizing men approaching women to this point? Oh, I hate this so much. Nice looking hotel. Irvin also reached out and touched the victim's arm during the conversation. Oh my god, he's the big black guy. He could have broke her arm. Without her consent, causing her to step back, becoming visibly uncomfortable. He did touch her arm. But visibly uncomfortable? I doubt it. Marriott claimed in this motion, Irvin then asked the victim whether she knew anything about having a big black man inside of her. Okay. Irvin then attempted to grab the victim's hand and said he was sorry if it brought up bad memories for her. The victim pulled her hand away. No, they had a handshake. That's normally how handshakes work. You just don't end up walking hand in hand with the person that you last greeted with until the end of days. Like, come on now. Friday's motion, the hotel chain also challenged Irvin's side of the story, which he shared at a previous press conference earlier this month. Irvin's counsel provided a self-serving, inaccurate summary of the video footage Marriott produced. And then today they released it and kind of vindicated their side of this because, yeah, you did take some highlights and there's some overlap in both of these stories, but one side is making very spurious allegations, definitely blowing something out of proportion. And what was the other side of this to begin with? Including his claim that the footage proves Irvin did nothing wrong and then turned the microphone over to Irvin to make racially charged statements. Well, you're already making a racially charged statement by trying to interject the fact that he said, if you ever felt big black, do you like BBC? Speaking to reporters on March 8th, Irvin characterized the accusations against him as racist. Well, it's all predicated on race, and hey, if you want to play this woke dance, well, guess what? You found yourself a partner. Takes me back to a time where a white woman would accuse a black man of something, and they would take a bunch of guys that were above the law, run in the barn, put a rope around his foot, and drag him through the mud and hang him in the tree. I don't know, whatever could you possibly be meaning? Come on now. Two other hotel employees allegedly noticed that her colleague was uncomfortable when she returned to work. The accuser went to work the next day and reported the incident to her manager. Oh, the Karen went to the manager. She also had short hair. Hilarious. Who told her to take the complaint to loss prevention according to the lawsuit. Yep, $100 million. Running pockets. That's exactly what this is. Marriott's filing also claimed that after the accuser left the interaction, Irvin turned to another employee saying aloud, she bad, and I want to hit that. Okay. He then slapped himself in the face 3 times saying, keep it together, Mike, according to Friday's motion. This shit happens every fucking day, every single time a bar opens until the time it closes, in even cruder language than that. Like I said, take all of this stuff at face value. 100%, all of it happened exactly like Marriott is laying it out. Why is that a civil offense? Why is that something you can sue somebody $100 million for? Or did somebody just realize that there's a target out there, that you can get a quick settlement off of this, that you can take advantage of MeToo? And the fact that it's gotten completely and totally out of control. These are one of these allegations that'll get somebody to lose their job, because anytime you get, oh my God, there's a little white woman making some claims against a big black guy, end up losing their career off the back of this. Michael Irvin, yeah, reliable voice on, I think CBS or Fox. Maybe it's Fox. I don't fucking remember. I don't watch sports anymore. It's a big waste of time. Back when I did, yeah. He's pretty decent at his job. Every once in a while he'd have a flumpy take, but who doesn't? But he's in town on Super Bowl weekend. There's so many different athletes that are running around. Probably not the first time that this alleged victim has been hit on by somebody staying at the hotel, but this is probably the most prominent incident of that. And because it's a low investment claim and they knew of any information about this, it's like, oh my God, somebody would have seen me entertaining Michael Irvin and I got a husband at home. Immediately, I got to run cover for that. That's my take on it. I don't know anything about this lady. All I know is, at worst, this was cold approach gone horribly wrong, or at best, somebody lying in order to secure the bag. But I'd imagine the truth is probably somewhere in between. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.